Good evening, everybody.
In Des Moines, Iowa, this is the Level Up Lariat podcast brought to you by three men and a baby called nerdbacon.com. My name is Jeff.
I'm Dave.
I'm Justin.
Someone go next.
I'm sorry for the long intro. I got really confused for a second. Have you guys ever heard of like Windows 10 at this point? Like suddenly deleting like files? Hey, what's up, Doc Rock? Yeah.
Hey, Doc Rock. No.
Because I noticed when I put us live, I noticed like there's no Skullgirls background image, and I'm looking around because I've got just like a file that I keep all of my what I call review screenshots, so the stuff that I've used in Nerd Bacon reviews. I can't find this file anywhere. I have no idea what's happened to this.
Bitches.
Yeah, that's just freaking odd. Anyway,
and to see your facial expressions as we're going live.
Lots of confusion. Oh wait, are we good? Are we good?
It makes me nervous.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not a technical like a stream issue this week, but now I'm really worried. Like, why are files disappearing? That's some bullshit.
And with what we're using this week, we got a little bit of a difference going on the stream. So when Jeff talks, it goes to Jeff, and when I talk, it goes to me. So it kind of goes back and forth there, which is kind of unique.
Right, we're doing Google Hangouts this time because Skype was being a bitch. So
it does still say it's Resident Evil 7. I see that.
It shouldn't. I changed it.
Oh, and big props to Infinite Knife, who was on before us. That long. The RE7 DLC, Not a Hero. That looks freaky as fuck.
Is that the one that's free? One of them's free.
I think that's the free one.
Yeah.
Anyway, boys, this week we're going to have a truncated show. Also, I think we're going to go ahead and skip the Q&A this week because we have to do some talking afterwards.
Yes, we do.
We pick our winners for this weekend's awards show. Now, if you people are watching, we'll shoot some behind-the-scenes stuff, and you get to watch that video after the awards show happens.
Yep.
So once you see what we picked, you can then later see how we got there and how friendships get broken.
This will not break us like a Mario Kart with a blue shell. We will be okay.
This is true. So let's just kick things right off. Also, I will say the move happened this weekend. I'm almost done. I'm still got a few boxes to go through. When you are a freelance video game journalist and you live in a house for 3.5 years and you take all that shit and you put it into a one-bedroom apartment, you realize you have a lot of shit.
Yes, you do.
A lot of shit you may not ever look at again, but you still want.
And you just can't get rid of it. You have to have it.
I don't know why I had this second Xbox 360 sitting right here next to me. Don't know why.
Well, you have one. That's all that matters.
Need a hard drive for it. Wrestling. Let's start with professional wrestling. The big news from this past week. I'm just saying Dave's shoulder. The news from the weekend was that Rich Swann, the man who was supposed to compete, go against Drew Gulak, I think tonight at 205 Live to see who would go against Enzo at was it Clash of Champions or the next pay-per-view for the Cruiserweight Championship or
that would be it. Yep, that would be it.
Anyway, Rich Swann got arrested.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and from what I was hearing, it was early Sunday morning, and it involved battery and involved kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment. Like, it's some major charges.
So the story that I heard was that he was in an argument with his girlfriend. Somebody's echoing on. Oh, I think it's Jeff. But he was in an argument with his girlfriend or wife or lady friend or whatever, and she was upset and was like getting out of the car and was walking away, and he like put her in a headlock to put her back in the car.
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah,
that's not good.
That's not nice.
Don't they have a thing at the beginning of the show that says, "Kids, don't try this at home"?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least he wasn't like, and maybe this is gonna sound really dumb, but at least it's not something precipitating from he's hauling off and smacking her or something like that. It sounds like it was a stupid situation where they both had very high emotional levels, and she was doing something stupid and he did something stupid in response. That's not an excuse or a justification.
No, not at all. But like you
Right.
said, it may not necessarily sound any better, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
but still, we have to imagine that he will not be competing. I think they already said that there'll be Drew Gulak versus Cedric Alexander
Yeah,
taking his place.
he
Yeah.
was suspended indefinitely according to the WWE's website. And
Will this
Facebook
be
page.
will this be lead to his firing, his future endeavoring?
I think so, probably, at least for the time being. I'm not saying he can't have a redemption story, but with as serious as it is right now, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
more
just
than
it's not
likely.
just like shoplifting from a gas station. It is, oh no, you kidnapped somebody.
Right.
Well, I think kidnapping is kind of a strong word for what supposedly happened. At least my understanding of what happened, but yeah, it's not a good look for WWE, and it's not a good look for
No, and Doc Croc says it right. The charges sound worse than it probably really was. Not saying it was
right.
Not saying it was worth what he did either way, but
We're not defending him by any means.
no,
And
I'm
it
definitely
sucks
not defending him.
because I met the guy. He seemed super cool. Like he was, and he was
Right.
conscious of all the like. I met him at Up Down, and he you could not have pictures with him and alcohol. He was following company guidelines. He's a company guy.
Yeah.
And he was super nice, super approachable, super cool. And this kind of sucks as somebody who I was a fan of his in-ring work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to separate like the wrestler and the person in a way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Would you imagine he's what you would think? And like you said, he was following company policy, and I don't know.
Wait, it's company
Sucks.
policy to put a woman in a headlock and drag her back to a car?
Yes.
That attitude era, yes.
I was gonna say you can't do that now. I thought this was America. I thought this was
Attitude era.
America.
This is the rebirth of the Attitude Era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clash of Champions is this weekend,
I think it's this Sunday during our award show.
so don't watch that at all. Watch
Yeah.
our award show.
Watch
Butts
our
to
award
that.
show.
Yep.
If you have the network, the Clash of Champions will be on again and again and again because you can watch it whenever you want.
That's
Yeah, it's
right.
on
for
demand.
$9.99.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a deal.
We don't cost anything unless you're donating, which by all means you can do that.
We
By all means,
we'll-
you should do that.
yes, we need help. We may end up doing a Clash of Champions prediction show at some point, but
that'd be
we're gonna be full up with Game of the Year stuff for us. Anywho,
Yeah.
on the other side of the pond in the New Japan, we had a little run-in between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. The Alpha and Omega finally coming together to fisticuffs, boys. Blood was
Yeah.
shed.
Yeah. Were you guys able to check out the video before the stream?
I haven't yet.
No,
I will
no,
watch
not
that
at all.
soon.
Okay. So I got to check out the video earlier today. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. They Kenny Omega was in the ring. I don't know if he had just had a match or what it was exactly. I just know that after the match he did his pose and then the lights went out and Jericho came on screen and then all of a sudden he appeared kind of behind him. And then after he appeared behind him, he jumped him and Omega was bloody. Face was completely
I'm all
bloody.
for that. I'm
So-
all for that.
Yeah, and then there was a press conference. What I would imagine was either the next day or the day after, and during the press conference, Omega appeared out of nowhere and jumped over the table and started attacking Jericho. And I don't know if Jericho was shedding blood at that point, but somebody I think was bleeding.
Somebody needs to be.
To be fair, Justin said shedding, not shitting.
Yeah.
What
Guys-
night? What night? When is that
Shitting
pay per view again?
January 12th? Question mark?
January.
Something like that.
All
It's
right.
Wrestle Kingdom 12. I know that much.
Yeah.
Whatever it
I have
is,
to
we
look
are
that one
ordering
up.
that pay per view.
We have to get some New Japan World up in here because I
Oh,
cannot. This build-up is fantastic. I cannot wait for this. This is two dudes proving they're the best in the world at what they do, and I cannot wait.
How much is that pay per view, by the way?
I think is that $10?
No, $10. That's it.
It might not be that. It might be. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Because the only way you can watch this through New Japan World, their streaming service, right?
I would be shocked if it's $10. Yeah, we're all there. We're gonna have a little party and yeah.
I think it's one of those where you just order the thing for the month and watch Wrestle Kingdom and call it good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in for that.
Well, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, we'll double check that because I want to watch that live.
Did anybody watch Monday Night Raw?
Mm.
I caught the highlights
caught-
of that.
I got the Matt Hardy
I caught the Matt Hardy promo as well, and
That's about all.
yeah, I am not as hyped now. It's like he came out strong at the very beginning in week 1 of the Woken gimmick, and then week 2 it was obvious that WWE writing had taken over, and it was
Oh, sure.
disappointing. I hated like they would switch between Bray, and then they had to have the Woken like graphic, and then it would break, and then it would transition to Hardy. Like, you don't need that overproduction.
Right.
You don't
Yeah.
need it.
I agree with you. It was definitely overproduced for what it needed to be.
Yeah.
It could have been just a fade out and over to Matt. That's all it needed
Just
to be.
do like you did the last time, where you had like the I would have preferred that they not do another video segment like that. I would have rather have seen something a little bit different.
Sure.
Right, go to the compound, get Senior
Yes.
involved, get Vanguard 1 involved.
Let's
like,
at least see Vanguard 1, but it definitely was. It definitely felt like they were trying to play off the success of last week's promo, and then they had the elongated laugh and everything, and it was. They don't.
It seemed like WWE dipped their hand in something they didn't need to at this point.
Right. It's
like last week's thing worked very well. Let it be.
exactly.
Yeah.
They don't
worked.
understand that though. They think that if they do it again and then up the ante, it's going to always work.
Yep.
And not even up the ante. If they just do it a second time, that it's going to work. And no, that's not how comedy works.
Well, right.
Really how wrestling works.
Exactly.
Um,
Which
Fellas-
is, I was going to say, which is odd because wrestlers, especially during the Attitude Era, had such a reliance on catchphrases and their personal slogans and everything. So,
Right.
anyway.
well, look at right now with the Shield. Like this new incarnation of the Shield. It's cool and all, but man, that the first time you saw the Shield, how cool was that first run of the Shield? Like
Yeah.
you can't duplicate that.
You
Right.
can't. Is it nice to hear Roman get cheered?
It is, but I know why he's getting cheered. It's not because of him. It's because of
Yeah.
the two guys flanking him.
I
It's
hope
because
Sure.
it
of
works
the Shield
out.
stuff.
I really do. I don't want to
'cause-
see a guy fail.
Right.
As trendy as it is to hate on Roman, I don't want to see a guy fail.
But now is the plan going forward Reigns and Lesnar at Mania? Because Reigns is IC champion and Brock is Universal champ. Is that still the plan going forward? Is title
I don't-
versus title?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna lean on Braun
I hope so, because Braun
Because-
Strowman's one of the best things in professional wrestling right now, guys.
because Braun Strowman versus Kane was your main event on Monday Night Raw, and it ended in a double countout, which led to the announcement of a rematch, and the winner is going to face Lesnar at Royal Rumble for the title. So Braun won't even be in the Rumble. So let's say AJ is champion and Shinsuke, as we predict, wins the Rumble. Then you give the Raw title shot back to maybe like something happens where Braun should have won it, or like he gets screwed or something at Rumble. So then it just continues that feud. But I think that's what it ends up being is Braun versus Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I should do a quick check-in like every month. Like every time we do this, okay. At the end of Mania, who is Universal champion? Who's WWE champion? Go.
Yeah.
WWE champion will be Shinsuke. And actually, no, I'm going to say AJ retains it. And Universal champion will be Roman Reigns.
Oh.
I like your Shinsuke pick. I know you went back on that, but I like Shinsuke pick. I think the Universal Champion will be nobody that we think yet. I think the Universal Champion might hopefully ends up being Finn Balor.
Shit. All right. I'll go with that.
I'm gonna right now. I'm gonna say Braun is your Universal, and Shinsuke is your World Champion on SmackDown.
And we'll see how closer when the Rumble happens, and we'll see how things go. Jinder wins both titles.
Jinder comes in and wins everything.
Jinder rules.
It's WrestleMania India. Jinder wins everything.
Gonna happen. Any more wrestling news we want to get to before we get to the video game aspects of the podcast?
Nah, give me the video
I got-
games.
I got nothing.
Jeez, I'm gonna calm down. So video games happened. By the way, a game snuck out today. Fallout 4 VR snuck out today.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Steam. Been getting some pretty good review, but I'm not going to be. It's for HTC Vive, so I'm going to wait until somebody puts that onto Oculus because there's always a hack. You can always put HTC. You can always put Vive stuff on Oculus. So I'll be
Gotcha.
waiting for one of those before I dive into that. But that snuck out. Also, big news for me is that Fire Pro Wrestling World is coming out of early access and will officially go 1.0 on December 19th.
That's
Very
cool.
nice.
On Steam for $30. So actually, it will go up in price on January 5th for $30. It is still 20 right now. And what is cool is that they also laid out some paid DLC plans.
oh okay.
Which I know sounds scary, but hear me out. So December 19th, they're releasing a charity DLC for Yoshihiro, I forget his last name, Yoshihiro Takayama, a very famous pro wrestler, MMA fighter who had a very brutal injury recently, left him paralyzed.
Wow.
So what they're doing is for $3 you get Yoshi Takayama and his finishing moves and what have you. And whatever Steam does not take off, because Steam takes their cut of the DLC money, but the rest goes to his foundation for a speedy recovery. So that's a cool thing that they did. They announced that on their Twitch stream last night, so that's pretty cool of them.
Oh wow.
They'll also be releasing some DLC next year for management mode, where you can manage your federations, which sounds awesome to me. And the PS4 version coming, I'm going to guess, end of Q1, beginning Q2 of 2018.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
So look out for that because that game is fucking rad.
I might bite on the Steam version at some point just for the mods.
The Steam Workshop is full. There's like 25,000 pages full of wrestlers, of mat designs, of aprons. It's real simple to get them all on there, as you can see from my Jeff Roth Twitch page and the upcoming JFWF Federation.
Doc Croc says that she would play Fallout VR. That might actually be fun because of how bossed it looks. But more Skyrim? No thanks.
Yeah, they're doing Skyrim in VR as well. I think they're doing. Didn't they announce that too, or is it just Doom and Fallout?
It's the 90th version of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Right.
And then PUBG on Xbox today, which is having issues, but it's out today.
Is it having issues? What issues?
Oh, of course. Just a lot of frame rate drops and just having frame rate issues, which isn't necessarily coming from the hardware itself. Obviously, it's performing better on the Xbox One X than it is on the S or the
Yeah, I would hope.
OG. But it's just having. It looks like with it being in game preview, it's having troubles even really being stable at 30 frames per second. So I was gonna dive in day one and just be like, okay, because Jeff obviously has played it. I played Fortnite, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna play. Which I still could do because I've watched a few streams and they look fine. It doesn't look like there's any issues. I know it's in game preview. It's going to be more expensive probably when the final version drops eventually. But it's having a few issues and people are just saying that Digital Foundry came out with a 11-minute video talking about showing the differences in the frame rate dips and stuff. So it's out there. I haven't picked it up yet. I think I just may wait out a few days or even a few weeks. Just I got a backlog that I want to get to. Plus, if they have a chance to put an update out and stabilize a little bit, then maybe I can jump in then. But maybe I'm missing out.
What's
Maybe
the
I should
price tag on the game preview version?
$29.99.
You've got the PC. You've got the PC that
the-
can run it though. I would just do it on PC.
Right, and that's the price of the PC version. I don't think it'll go up since that's the PC price
Right.
point as well. So yeah, if you got a PC that can run it, play it on a PC.
Yeah, and it's not even perfect on the PC. So
Sure.
obviously, it's not a perfect game, which is what people's arguments were for it not being Game of the Year nominated. And we don't need to get into all that, but
Just think of that though. It's still in early
yep.
access, and it's quote unquote busted or whatever, and it was put in the same breath as the best games of the year. That just speaks
Yep.
to the impact of that game, that genre. You can't deny that. That game is awesome for several reasons.
and I think obviously when you think of this type of game, it's a genre defining type of game. Obviously, there's going to be other games that are coming. Obviously, you have Fortnite come, and we've had a couple of others that are going to come out. Would not be surprised if you see something like an update come out for like, I don't know, maybe not the Division, but the Division would have been a cool one to do it for. But like, you know, Rainbow Six Siege or Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes or whatever.
Mhm.
But on this case, it's a defining game.
Oh man, Red Dead 2, how cool would that be? And
Well,
Red
and
Dead 2.
Exactly, and it's a defining
Rad.
game. And look how, like, it may not have been the first, but it has been so far one of the best. You know, and some people, you know, I mean, you got to think of the concurrence for that game. I mean, it was reaching so many millions of people a day.
Right.
So obviously it's a big deal, but it is in game preview on the Xbox. So buy it with caution. And I haven't ever myself dipped into a game preview game. This might be the first one, but if I do it, I'll kind of peek. I'll let you guys know. But and I may obviously get some streams out there of it. But the thing is that this game was obviously, like you said, it was a big deal. And when you look back at 2017 and the monster of games that came out this year, this game is still going to be listed even if it was in game preview.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Again, I hate using the word revolutionize, but that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
It turned the streaming game upside down and just blew the doors off of things. You know, it's one of those kind of rare games, not
Right.
rare games because they make perfect art, but one of those rare titles that just changed the landscape of gaming, and you can't understate that, I guess.
And good on
Yeah.
those guys. It's so awesome again to see a just an independent developer be able to do something on this scale and have it achieve the massive success that it's achieved. It just shows you how good of a place video gaming is, because we were very worried about that, 10, 15 years at the turn of the century here in 2000 and everything. All these mid-sized companies were getting bought up, and we didn't have Steam like we do now. We didn't have Xbox Live or anything. So there was a huge worry about big publishers eating up everything, and we were just going to have homogenous AAA games. So these new storefronts are a godsend for the industry.
Right.
We just gotta be careful to have too many of them, because now everything's a freaking launcher and storefront, and it's just like, which one do I need to play this game? God, I need to go to.
Right. But the wheat gets separated from the chaff, and that's the free market. That's the beauty of the free market. We get those
Oh, sure.
choices, and the good stuff will stay, and the bad stuff will get shut down.
Right.
And there will
Buy
be
your
some good
Steam
stuff
games
that
off-
gets shut down.
Buy your Steam games off of the Humble Bundle, because it goes charity too.
I tried
Yes.
to, actually. I wish
Yeah,
they would
I-
have a fighting game Humble Bundle now that I've got a PC.
Oh man! Speaking of fighting games,
Yes.
I picked up I bit on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on PS4.
How are you liking it? Because I played the beta over the weekend on Saturday. I was texting you guys about it. It's actually pretty fun, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely worth the $35 I spent on it. I don't know if I'm glad I didn't go because even the special editions 60 and change, I think on that now. I'm glad I didn't bite right away and spend 90 on it. I may at some point get the character pass as well when if it's later on down the road. But I'm the story is really cheesy, and I think that of the fighting games this year, it's kind of the weakest story, just because it's so just stop and start.
Mhm.
But the actual fighting of it, I'm actually kind of really enjoying.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
It's
Hoping my go-to fighting game, it's a good knock-around fighting game.
Right. It's a fun game to play. It's not like Street Fighter where you feel like you have to. Like Street Fighter's going to church, and you've got to really prepare yourself to play Street Fighter or Tekken in some ways. But this game just feels like, I'm gonna have a slice of pizza and play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Right. When you guys come over, we'll boot up some Marvel vs. Capcom. That's like when you get your friends over, you boot up Marvel vs. Capcom and you have a good time.
Yeah.
Right. And I was kind of checking out some videos on it too, because I did spend a little bit of time while cleaning the house and doing some things on Sunday, kind of trying to help out around here, and trying to also stay intertwined into the Capcom Cup. And then I started kind of getting in some videos of Marvel vs. Capcom, and I watched them today even, and I'm like, man, I should, especially with me really getting into Mega Man recently, and going back and playing Mega Man X, and one of my favorite games of all time. I should just get this because I love the characters, and even like if you want to get a physical copy, I think you can get it for the same price or just slightly cheaper at like a GameStop even. But that's the thing is like I'm glad I didn't jump in right away when it was $60. I think we all were kind of glad about that. But
Right.
it might be the time to just kind of jump in. But again, going forward with what we're going to be talking about, there's a lot of fighting game stuff coming like in the near future that I am super hyped about. And I know you guys are too. That man, it just a lot of, if you're a fighting game guy right now, like I know you two are in like really big into it. You've gotten me even more into it over the last year or so. Like I'm just stoked for the near future.
Justin, are you on two wheels? Because I smell a segue.
Well, actually, before we segue into that, let me hit you up with
over.
one thing. I'm sorry. Let me hit you up with one thing, and that is if we haven't checked it out yet, the beta for Fighting Layer EX should be out now on the PlayStation Network for the next couple of weeks. So that's as soon as this podcast and everything is done, I'm gonna go download that. I didn't want to screw up.
So I streamed some of that after I streamed some Monster Hunter World, which I'll get to that a bit later too, because that game's fucking rad. Fighting Layer EX is available, I believe, until Christmas. It appears on their splash page. I couldn't find a bit to play against, and when I could, it would just drop right away.
Oh, that's no.
So I don't know if it was my internet at the time because I'm still adapted to the new apartment. So I don't know if it's that or the actual beta, but I would just jump in real quick to a match and then just drop right back out.
That's disappointing.
What's weird is that you actually pick the connection type, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar. And I think that's a little maybe a little too narrow. I would kind of like what Tekken does as far as like give me 3+ in order for 3, 4, and 5, as opposed to give me 4 only, and then make it only in my city or my state. Or it's like you're being too specific here.
Yeah, and that just shows maybe a lack of understanding of how network searches and how online gaming works, maybe from those developers.
But there is an offline training mode, so you can at least get in and fight for a bit while it's matchmaking too. So there's the Street Fighter V thing of searching while you're doing other stuff. So I was able to just get Skullomania because of course I'm gonna main Skullomania. He's my dude. Like I'm a Skullomania guy. So I got in a training mode and just get bust out Skullo Dream over and over again until I felt comfortable. And dude, Skullomania's back.
Well, hopefully they will fix those issues because man, oh man, I really liked that game. What we played of it at Evo, I was very hyped. Cool. Yeah, it feels like Street Fighter 4. Anyway, now for Justin's segue. Here's Justin.
So Sunday I was watching the end of the Capcom Cup, and it was obviously Street Fighter 5. And in the winners finals and grand finals, they kept teasing some sort of trailer. And lo and behold, they had a trailer. The first trailer was just a single character release, but it was still, it got the crowd pumped. You could hear the crowd in the background. And that was the ever so loved Sakura. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sakura. And everybody pretty much knew by the time the Capcom logo came up because of the petals, the rose petals, or was it the cherry blossom or whatever, the tree, the petals flying, and people kind of knew. But she's coming. From what the video made it sound, it was like she was coming the day of the release.
She'll be the first one of season 3.
Yes, the day of the release of Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, which is January 16th. So if if you were into that, like, I'll be honest with you, I am pretty much guaranteeing that I'm going to pick up that game. And it wasn't just because of that trailer. It was because of watching these guys play and then watching the next trailer. So then
Wait. So before you get to the next trailer,
go.
This is making me want to get back into SF5.
Yes.
Like, it's one of those things where I first played it. It did not rub me the right way. Like, I was kind of off and on. I wanted to, Dave and I were in the same mindset here, that we wanted to love it, but knew that I want to love it because it's Street Fighter, not because it's a great game, but because it's Street Fighter.
Right.
And it didn't grab me. And then now I'm like, okay, time to get back into it.
Yeah, and I felt the same way. It's a Street Fighter game that has not grabbed me, and it's been agonizing, really, because for me, Street Fighter is probably my favorite series. There's just like such a deep personal connection for me in that series and my buddy Sean. That's like that's our game.
Sure.
Right.
You know, through all the years I've known him for about 20 years. Like that's the thread that would always bring us back together was we're gonna play some Street Fighter. So to not have a Street Fighter game that's current that we want to play has been really
It's heart-wrenching.
yeah,
isn't it?
it's been
like,
heart-wrenching. So
and
I've got
your
high
best friend on drugs.
right. So I've got really high hopes that Arcade Edition is going to do for Street Fighter V what Super Street Fighter 4 did for the Street Fighter 4 game. And I was kind of in the same boat. I was not really that into Street Fighter 4. I was still preferring Third Strike, and then Super came out I think about 2 years after launch of Street Fighter 4, and it just was so much better. It fixed everything that I didn't like about Street Fighter 4.
It fixed it so much he was speechless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It fixed everything that it just made it such a more robust and fun game to play. So I'm really hoping for that. With that being said, Sakura looks sick. She looks so good. I'm like, maybe I will have a main here. Maybe it's going to go to Sakura. It's been with Karin for a while.
To echo what Dave was saying, when I picked up my PS4, I got the Uncharted collection of PS4, so I got that game with it. And the first game I bought outside of that, which the same day, was Street Fighter 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, like you guys, I go back to fond memories of Street Fighter. Like I was just saying, Street Fighter 2, you know, and going back and playing those games. And that's probably the first fighting game that I really grew up on. And even though I'm in and out of the fighting game scene and I'm not as into it consistently as maybe I would even like to be, these trailers did for me what it did for you guys. Like I'm so hyped on wanting to get the arcade edition. You know, I was doing research on, okay, what if I just get Street Fighter 5? What do I need to do to get these characters? And it's like, well, you can grind and you can unlock them with in-game currency, or you can just spend like the $30 or $40, whatever it's priced on the 29th or the 16th, and you'll get everybody up through through season 3 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I could obviously just buy the one and then buy the packs, of course, as well. But man, I'm hyped as well. And like you said, the trailer for Sakura was awesome. She's grown, which I know some people were thinking that, you know, because I guess they were saying that she may never be released as like an older version. And she has the little headset, which I noticed in the first video. She has a headset, and I wasn't quite sure what that was supposed to be or mean. After watching a few more reaction videos, it sounds like she's supposed to be almost like, because like she was obviously training, because in her map, obviously they go back to like the stage with like, and it shows like her little brother playing. I think he's playing the Switch in the background if you look really closely. But I think she's supposed to be like an esports commentator.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
pretty funny.
Yeah, and seeing some of the moves from Akuma and Ryu and showing like some of the things she has, like she looks really unique and really cool. She definitely could be like that female staple. I think just like a Chun-Li, even like, you know, obviously she might not have quite the far back history, but she's got history there that I think she was the right choice for that moment. So
yeah,
very cool first trailer.
I look at Sakura and I want to play Rival Schools. But
I would
also,
love a Rival Schools revival.
that'd be great. But also, she's not the only returning character in the new season. They're going to bring back people such as Blanca and Sagat.
I am so excited for Blanca. Blanca, it's always been Ryu as my bread and butter, but then if I needed to get some wins, if I needed to assure myself of some wins, I'd go down to the Beast, go down to Blanca, and I'm so excited. I hope they don't change him up too much. Yep. I love Blanca.
Well, and so they teased this. They said the trailer, and then he comes. You know, they're talking like, "Oh, that wasn't enough," and then all of a sudden, here's the plushie, which I'm thinking that you get. Someone said that you get if you pre-order the battle or the arcade edition. I don't know if that's really true. I'll have to look into that.
Oh man, I want that. I want that.
But then they came out and they released this other trailer, which was it started off the same as a trailer, the original trailer for the arcade edition, and then it just continued on. And like you said, that's when Sakura and Blanca show up on the screen.
Yes.
And Blanca looks really rad. I go back with you again, Dave, like to Street Fighter 2. Again, if I was playing it and I was getting my butt kicked by a friend, I'd just pick Blanca and I'd be cheap, but I was like, whatever. I win anyway. But that's again playing fan service and getting to the people that do want him. Now, he may not be your big Capcom Cup Evo champion guy. Like you may see him, but you may not see him in the grand finals, sure. But am I going to play him? Hell yeah, why not? So.
Yeah.
But Jeff also alluded to a couple others. So as the stream kind of went, or the trailer went on,
I would love to play those old Street Fighter games again, Justin. How can you help me with that?
Well,
if only there was a way to get not only Street Fighter 2, but like 3 and Alpha games.
Man, those Alpha games were so good. I wish they were all together into one thing.
Justin,
imagine that.
make our dreams come true.
Can you help
Now!
me, sir?
I think I can help you with that. So there is the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection.
Oh, do tell me more. I am paying attention.
The Street Fighter 30th anniversary edition.
This is fucking rad, guys. This is fucking rad.
Yeah.
It is really cool looking. I'm actually pulling it up right now to kind of take a look at
Day one purchase for me.
Yeah, so it's like Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter
Yep.
2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Double Impact, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and then Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2, Alpha 3. So it's 12 games total.
Yep.
All this
I've got
artwork.
Oh god.
Online
Arcade
functionality
perfect
for Street Fighter 2, for Super Turbo, Alpha 3, Third Strike, and I think there was another one.
So yeah, and I got the list pulled up now. But yeah, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting,
Yeah.
Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
No
all
Doc
12
Rock.
games. All 12 games, with some of them having a online capability to
Yep.
play competitive online.
Thank you. God, thank you.
Yep, there is. There it says those games, in addition to leaderboards and the option to face an AI opponent while waiting to fight another player, the multiplayer modes will also feature rewind technology to allow for lower latency matches. And then it looks like there's a collection that will include save states for single player modes, so you don't have to keep your console running for all hours of the day. Basically modernizing it enough. And it looks like there's going to be 6 more characters during. Oh, never mind. Scratch that last part. That was going with the other trailer that I'll just finish up talking about.
So basically, this is the godlike Street Fighter collection that we all wanted. That was actually rumored back during the summer. I thought they were going to announce this back in August because that was the actual, 30th anniversary proper of Street Fighter. But so I was really disappointed when it didn't happen in August. But it did happen on Sunday, and holy shit, I'm just
the only thing it's missing are the EX games, but other than that, we're fine.
They can't do the EX games because
I know they can't.
Yeah,
I know
you
they can't.
know.
I'm just saying the whole godlike thing.
And this doesn't come out.
Slovenia.
This isn't just coming out in 2018. It's May 2018. We don't have an exact date, but it is sooner than later.
Take that, PSX. Actual release date.
And not only do you get those 12 games with online, with save states, with all of that, but you get that, like I said, in May 2018. That's 4 months after Street Fighter, 5 Arcade Edition. So if you want to mix it up a little bit, there you go. And it's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Hell yeah.
So it is. They are doing the fan service big time right there.
Is there
they
a
are
price
doing
tag on that just yet? Are we assuming full price, full 60?
I don't think so. I'm gonna say 30 to 40.
I'm gonna say 40. There, I do not see a price. I'm looking for.
So this just renders that Street Fighter 2 on the Switch useless then.
Yes.
That was gonna be a point that I brought up when we kind of got into this. Was if you bought that Street Fighter 2, I'm sorry, but that sucks because you might as well have just waited. But I mean, I know it's got some other cool stuff in it, but like you guys were saying, it was kind of a steep price for that Street Fighter 2 version. So now you can get them all again.
Send it back.
Yeah. It's like Capcom finally learned to love again.
Yes.
Well, and not only that, Capcom over the last little over a week, we've had obviously the announcement of Mega Man 11, the Mega Man X collection,
Uh-huh.
Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch,
That's not
Bayonetta
Capcom.
3.
That's not Capcom.
No, that's not Capcom.
Bayonetta's Capcom.
We were talking Capcom.
Bayonetta's Capcom.
No,
No, it's not.
Bayonetta is not Capcom. They're
What?
that's Platinum Games.
That's Platinum Games, but it's actually a Sega property.
Yeah.
All right, you're right.
I heard you say in Bayonetta. I'm like, oh, Bayonetta. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, that's Platinum.
I thought Bayonetta was Capcom. My bad.
No, that's Platinum. But like going forward, then you have the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection with 12 games, updated stuff, and then obviously Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition, which is going to be supposedly all fixed. They're going to fix all our problems and make all our dreams come true with a season 3 starting on the release date of January 16th with 6 new characters, that being Sakura, Blanca, Sagat, Cody, Falk.
Cody.
Falk is a new character, and then the character I'm most interested in would be G. Those are the characters that that are coming.
G's got to be related to Q.
You'd think so, yeah.
I just like the look of him. I was like, tell me more. But the
I
trailers.
I played a lot of Q in 3.
The trailers were absolutely phenomenal. They got me super hyped. They did the job they were supposed to do.
Exactly.
And like Dave said, Capcom is alive and well, and they're wanting to. There was another article that they're wanting to see about bringing more games, like games that haven't been released yet, put them on the Switch. So
and Monster Hunter's coming too.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So what's next in 2018 for Capcom? Where do we go? Obviously, they gotta focus on getting these awesome games out the door and playable states. Make sure they're not junk. But how does Capcom maintain this momentum?
Darkstalkers.
We know we're gonna get Darkstalkers. That's very interesting. I was gonna say we know we're getting Devil May Cry 5. It was supposed to be announced at PSX, but
and Puzzle Fighter on mobile is doing very well.
Well, good for them.
I love that game, by the way. I love Puzzle Fighter on mobile. It's great.
So you think Darkstalkers could be in the cards?
I like inside. I really hope they do like a Rival Schools redo because my god, Rival Schools is fantastic. But as far as like mainstream franchises, you gotta look at Darkstalkers or look at something like I want a Pocket Fighter 2 or something like that. Like something like obscure. Right. Like they have to step away from Street Fighter for a second.
Hashtag pray for Darkstalkers.
Yeah, and try to hand something else. Try another fighting game.
Do you think with this talked about acquisition of Fox movie and television properties by Disney, do you think that will pave the way for X-Men characters in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
I do. The answer's probably yes, but boy, wouldn't it be great if they made Children of the Atom again?
Oh, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
See, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that was actually something I was going to bring up. Because here's the thing: is that acquisition is now rumored to be coming Thursday.
Yeah,
I think, and there was already rumors dropping that some of the X-Men characters were going to be coming in a future DLC pack. There were 2 of them specifically were Wolverine and Magneto, but if this acquisition happens, which it sounds like it's all but a done deal at this point, if it does, I don't see why they don't. And they should, because Disney's all about fan service as it is.
Yep.
So they stepped in when EA was fucking with Star Wars Battlefront 2, excuse my language, but when they were messing with that game, they did this. I think I could see them doing that with this game. I could see Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite getting some major updates. I don't know that it's necessarily broken or needs to be fixed in any certain way, like gameplay wise. It sounds like it's pretty fun gameplay wise. Everybody's praising the gameplay part of it, but maybe to fix a few things that they do need to fix it, and then like you said, update with these characters like a Wolverine and Magneto and maybe I don't know about the Fantastic Four. I think there's some weird thing going on with Limbo there, but bringing those characters in, because I think that is all a very strong possibility. And with some of the crazy stuff that's already happened in 2017 and going into 2018, this is just as much of a possibility as anything else.
Wouldn't it be something like that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be wild if the next thing is a Breath of Fire revival?
Jeez,
that would be.
There's a franchise pull. Nice job.
Yeah.
With something like that, with an overhaul like that, they'd probably need to do another like Ultimate MVC Infinite, so a whole new release of the game. Like they do for 3.
And I could see that.
I could see it. I mean, I don't see like the entire X-Men roster coming over because that seems like a lot to push on to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You know what? Do it.
Have a huge roster like they did in 3. They didn't want to have that huge roster.
I say go big. Just maybe not as big, but X-Men. Just give the people what they want. You know, give them players or people like I said, Wolverine and Magneto and Gambit and Cyclops and Cable and whoever else they're missing. I don't know who the roster is now exactly, but give it to them.
I actually wouldn't mind a new X-Men game. Like
no,
you said,
I wouldn't
Jeff.
either.
Or
Children
maybe a
of the
new
Atom,
just
or-
like straight up Marvel superheroes game. That was a
Or hell-
great fighting game.
Yes, it was. I mean, all the X-Men vs. Street Fighter was great, and Marvel Superheroes was great, and God, you can go on and on. How about just a whole like try a new Marvel Ultimate Alliance style game?
Yeah, that's
mean,
the game I was going to mention. What about Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah, that kind of fell off because Marvel Heroes Omega, that MMO thing is out, so that's kind of taking its place.
That's done.
No, it's not. It's still a game.
No, they shut it down.
It did not.
Yes, they did.
What?
Yeah, I thought this was knowledge.
Not to me.
Yeah, if you go in the Marvel like Heroes Omega, whatever, they had like the creators of that were talking about updates, and then they kind of just like left everybody hanging in some of the updates, and then
Oh, it's in 2017. Thanks.
yeah, and then out of nowhere they said, hey, we are gonna this game, like we're gonna stop the servers. This game's not gonna be able to be a thing anymore. We appreciate like all your support, and then it actually ended up getting canceled randomly one day, like out of nowhere. Like people didn't even like expect it. Just kind of happened. So
That's shitty.
if you try to go into it, I don't know I don't know how far you can get into it, but yeah, from what I know, the servers are done. Like it's
That's shitty.
Everyone
Anyway.
knows that the next big revival from Capcom is going to be Onimusha, and it's going to be a Dark Souls style game.
Well, they got Okami HD coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Today.
So that's coming out. I think within the next, maybe out now.
Okami HD dropped today.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's right. Arby's tweeted about that. Like the fast food franchise Arby's tweeted about
Yeah.
Okami.
Arby's like Twitter and Instagram is phenomenal. If you don't follow them,
Yep.
you should.
I was like,
guess.
Arby's, you won the internet today with that post. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, as far as games that got released recently, I guess the Monster Hunter World Beta came out this past weekend.
Yeah.
Speaking
That's
of
a game.
Capcom.
Ended
That's a thing.
yesterday to Capcom. Ended this morning. I was able to get in last night and play through. There were 3 hunts that you could kind of get a feel for, just like on the hunting aspect to it. Guys, I fucking love this. Like, excuse my language. I fucking love this. Like, I cannot wait for the game to come out. And I know you guys were sold once you saw PSX and the inclusion of Mega Man, and now with Aloy involved in the Sony version, in the PS4 version. Are you guys still on board with this? Because I want to hunt with you guys.
I was pumped after the trailer, but a little less pumped after playing the beta.
Now look. Hear me out.
I think
Monster-
here's what I'll say. I think it will be a lot of fun to get online and play with you guys.
Yes.
I think that would bring it up several notches.
Sure.
That would be more fun than single player. It always is.
Right.
But Monster Hunter is a very unique and deliberately paced control scheme that is hard to get used to when you're playing Platinum games, let's say.
Which is just the epitome of beauty and grace in a control scheme.
Those are the perfect action games. Monster Hunter is not an action game in that same
Right.
breath. It's definitely an adventure game. But I like what they're doing with it. It looks great, first of all.
Yes.
So what's the max team you could have? Is it 4?
It has been 4 in games past. I'm not sure what this one is as of yet. I didn't play multiplayer in the beta. I just threw it on and went. But in the games past, it's been up to 4.
Okay.
One
I didn't play I'm so we have 3 different variations. Jeff played it, Dave and loved it. Dave was really pumped, played it and wasn't sure. And I actually didn't jump in at all just because of life. But I was able to jump in but I read a lot up on it. I read a lot of people's comments and I read a lot to see what other people were thinking. And I came away a little less pumped. I'm like, man, I kind of was curious. It just seemed like I kind of mentioned to you guys, people were talking not necessarily about the control like scheme, but like they just felt like it was really slow and it felt sluggish. And it could have also been the beta. Who knows? Like I don't know what people's experiences were. And then I reading a few other things. People were like, and this is 2017 for you. So I'm going to say this, and I'm sure it's going to garner a reaction. But this is how ridiculous 2017 has gotten. People were actually saying that they and their families were like felt sick and disgusted because they would basically just beat up a monster to capture it instead of actually capturing it, and then you could see its babies like running away, so they felt bad for it. I'm like, it's a video game. So I don't know how these games work because I haven't never played them. but I was into the trailer, watching with you guys, and then kind of watching a little bit of online when I was doing some things, like people streaming it, and then like reading other people's posts about it. I was like, I don't know. It just kind of, maybe it doesn't seem like the game for me, but I'm intrigued. I guess I should say that.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Justin, because I was going to say the same thing. I kind of felt a little bad going and wailing and killing this monster.
Okay, so
it was,
okay.
And it's not like a touchy feely thing. I think maybe it's because the level of quality that we have with graphics allows some sort of connection that you may not have had before. It was almost like a Shadow of Colossus type thing where you felt that guilt for bringing down the huge Colossus monsters as you progress through the game. I didn't feel quite on that level, but I did feel a little something. And I'm not just like going and why am I doing this? I don't know, because you have to be hunted.
Right. Okay.
Death to all monsters.
Yes, death to all monsters. But anyway, it looks like a cool game, and
I loved it. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you loved it. I didn't hate it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a day one purchase for me.
And for me it does. And what's a bummer is that it comes out the same day as another day one purchase for me and for you, Dave, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh yeah, it's all over.
Hey, don't leave me out of that. Don't leave me out of that one.
Justin, I hope you do get Dragon Ball Fighter Z day one because it's fucking rad.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is gonna come first, believe me.
So then there's my question for you is, okay, here's January. Okay, it's the first month of 2018, which could be a huge extension of the huge year that 2017 was in the world of gaming.
It's the 2017 after party, yo.
Essentially, yeah. You on the 16th, you got Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Now, maybe you guys already have Street Fighter V. Maybe you're not going to double dip. I don't have it anymore because I had sold it after. I was like, I'm not going to play it anymore. But I'm going to buy it on that one. So I know I'm getting that. And then again, Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball Fighter Z come out on the same day.
Yes.
And I'm like, as much as I want to not get too overzealous with fighting games, I also know that's a game I'm going to want to play right away. So if I had to leave one out, it would be Monster Hunter only for that reason.
Right. I agree with you, but it's a matter of, here's the big question, I think that more for Dave than for Justin. Which version do you get? Do you go all in and spend 130 for the everything bundle, $100 for the middle one, and then 60 for the base version?
I don't even know what all is included with those different Dragon Ball Z bundles.
Well, I will, as we talk,
three of them.
I will look them up.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to just go all in because that one round that we played, I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate
so
spending $130 on one video game. But...
Right. If you're going to spend that kind of money, it better come with something damn good.
Yeah, we got to see what the online aspect is like first. We've got to see, does this game have legs? Yes, it's going to be at EVO 2018, but where is it going to be beyond this?
Right.
So obviously the big collectors with the Z edition,
of course it is
the game, the exclusive steelbook, the exclusive steelbook, 3 artboards, and a 7-inch Goku statue.
There you go. See, something physical. That's what I want. I want something physical.
If you pre-order it, you also get 2 early unlockable characters, Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta.
Yeah.
And did you say that includes all the DLC?
I would assume there'd be a season pass in that as well.
Yeah, there's no season pass. There's no point. I don't need a Goku bust.
What?
I am
I don't.
looking. I am looking.
It depends if he's in Kamehameha mode.
Here's the fascinating thing. I am very hyped for this game. This game is awesome. We've played it already. This game looks awesome. I love how it honors the series, but I'm not really much of a Dragon Ball Z fan.
Exactly.
I am playing
The-
it just because it is an awesome fighting game.
And he's not in Kamehameha stance. He's actually just like arms out and whatever around.
Oh,
whatever
no,
you call it, yeah. It's
Either
not a Kamehameha
or
stance.
special beam cannon.
Yeah, and he's not in that stance. I don't know that.
It has to come with season pass or whatever.
I would imagine
yeah,
it
is
does.
a rip-off, Doc Crack. It is.
I'm looking at like even GameStop's website now to see like the pre-order. No, it doesn't specify. But then obviously there's the 90. That one's 139. So
Okay.
$140 bucks.
Too much money.
That's too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for now that's when you get the statue. Now for $95, you get the Dragon Ball Fighter Z Fighters Edition, which looks like that includes the 2 early unlockable characters, 2 exclusive lobby avatars.
Yes, lobby avatars. Dude, Arxis makes great lobby avatars.
And then I would imagine you get the season pass. But again, here we go. Fighters Edition includes base game and season pass.
Okay,
we go.
that's a better deal.
So that's 95, or you can spend 60, and I don't know when you would unlock those other characters, but
Or just
There's
spend
your-
60
You- you-
and wait for the season pass to go on sale.
exactly.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Let's go back. We were talking about
And the
Sundays.
fighter pass is expensive, by the way.
Yes.
How
I'm sure it
expensive?
is.
35.
Fucking monkeys, really?
So-
There'd be a lot
Wow.
of maybe a lot of fighters.
Oh, and then there's another one, an Ultimate Edition. Holy crap! There's an Ultimate Edition. It's 110.
What?
Yeah, so there's 4 editions according to GameStop's website.
What does the ultimate one not have? The Goku bust?
I think the only thing you're missing on the Ultimate is you got the characters.
The game disc.
Yeah.
It includes the Fighters Pass, an anime music pack containing 11 songs from Dragon Ball anime,
Oh, shit, yeah.
a commentator voice pack, those 2 characters
What?
from pre-ordering.
I don't
Yeah,
even
that's-
know what that means. A commentator's voice pack. What does that mean?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna go $60 on this one, guys.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Well, we
anyway,
know
it's
that the
rad.
season pass will eventually go on sale.
Right.
Let's bring it back. We talked about Capcom Cup, but let's go back in time just a little bit. PlayStation Experience was this Friday. We you folks did a fantastic job streaming your reactions, your live reactions to the very scaled back PlayStation Experience keynote.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, there weren't really many announcements. We saw that Medieval is coming back.
Yes,
That's
it is.
pretty
Hell
cool.
yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
but not a new game. It's a remaster of the original game.
That's okay, Jeff. Don't rain on my
I'm
parade.
just saying.
Do you
Just saying.
wait a second, Jeff? I get that, but have we forgotten already? 6 months later, have we forgotten already how good the Crash Bandicoot remasters were?
So good.
Yeah, because that's what this is gonna be. So let's not. I've never
Crash
played it.
Bandicoot was one of the better
I never
selling
played
games
it,
for
so-
PlayStation for a while too.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking
Medieval's
forward to
a great game. That's not what you end your show on. Is hey, we're doing this game.
But this was a
But
scaled back
it's
show.
It's the same one.
Well,
it just
and-
looks prettier.
Let me put a disclaimer on our thoughts and opinions for this. So going into it, PlayStation had already come out and said that this was going to be a little bit more toned down. They had tweeted, they had came out and they had specified it's going to be a
It was
little
the date.
more. It was going to be a little more toned down. It wasn't going to be Paris Games Week. It wasn't going to be E3. They did the 2 big shows then, and then the keynote special, whatever you want to call the damn thing, the talk show that they had with all the chairs and the couches on the stage was going to be a little more toned down and reserved. And I'm okay with that, but it was still boring as hell.
Yeah,
So
Boring as fell.
it was kind
Everyone
of
just,
it
everyone
was
just
cool.
talking.
Well, talking is all right, but I think this was kind of the wrong venue for it. If they had
Yeah.
done like the Andrew House, Kojima, and Mark Cerny bit, if that had just been a produced video and had a little bit more more scope to it, just beyond like Death Stranding and some of the stuff. If it were just a little bit more conversational, instead of Mark Cerny reading pre-written questions off of cards.
Yeah.
In his robotic tone that he always does, I think it would have gone over a little bit better. So
it would have, like, the show could have been saved with just one release date. Just give me something to gnaw on. Give me something.
That's a great point. That was a huge. If there's anything that was shocking that came out of PlayStation Experience, it's the fact that they did not give God of War a release date. There was a release date, like in the days leading up. A release date leaked on the PlayStation Store in North America, but nothing mentioned at PSX.
And he kept poking at it. He kept poking the bear. And it's just like, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, stop pissing me off.
Here's the thing is I've seen some people defend it, like, oh, this isn't the type of venue that needs a release date. And I'm like, then what is the point? What are you giving me? For the viewers who are watching, staying up late across the country, what are you giving me? What is the purpose of and what is that carrot on a stick? What are you dangling in front of me that makes me want to stay up and watch this? Otherwise, I could have waited till the next day and watched it at work when I was doing absolutely nothing.
Right. Yeah. And there's the way that they've done PlayStation Experience the past few years, even though they try to temper those expectations, you still feel like there's got to be something. You wouldn't go to all the trouble of having a press event if you're not going to announce something. So
it's super cool that Mega Man is in Monster Hunter World. That's fucking awesome. I lost my shit at the moment. You can play the music. You can use them as your Palico. That was cool. That shouldn't be the highlight of your entire conference, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it became that shouldn't have been the highlight. You're right, but why not put some release dates on something? Yeah. Okay, there was a lot of 2018 talk, but why not? Now
Detroit, spring 2018.
Spring 20. That's the closest we got to anything. Dreams 2018. God of War 2018. Okay, cool. Like, so we get these games that are going to be 2018, and even in this one showing, there was no Last of Us 2. Okay, I'm fine with that. Let's get over that hump.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that
game anyway.
Right, right. And there was no Spider-Man. The only glimpse of Spider-Man was in the promo up front. And I'm okay with that. And
that game's still happening, we think?
Yes.
Like, I'm a little worried about this.
Well, and I think it's because, and this is where we differ, but I think that's a 2019 game as well.
Wow.
So the thing with that is, I get that they tempered expectations. I get that this was going to be a laid back show, but what was the purpose of me staying up late, or anyone, whether you're doing a simulcast or if you're not there in person, then what was the point?
Yeah, you got screwed.
To talk to me. That's the important. They're talking to me.
I get that. Not every show can be a huge bombshell fest, and I agree. I think they could have done it just a little bit differently. I think they should have focused on God of War and had a little bit more of an extended playthrough of at least a different section of the game. And if they had ended it with, it's coming out March, whatever, and you can pre-order it now in the PlayStation Store, I think that would have been perfect. Show us that same Dreams demo. Maybe not quite as much on Detroit, because that one I don't think will make early. I don't think it'll make the first half of 2018.
You're probably right. Well,
but give us a scaled back version of that Detroit demo. Cut back on everything else. Give us the God of War, and then give us the medieval tease. I think that would have been perfect.
I think Detroit will make that spring window. I think that's since they put spring on there, and they actually put some balls out there and put a season on it. It'll be in spring, but boy, with God of War, you don't need to give me a specific day. Give me a month. Give me a season. Give me a quarter. Give me something on God of War to sink my teeth into.
For a scaled back conference,
that game looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for that.
But for a scaled back conference, I think that would have given us enough if they had just said, "Here's the day for God of War." Doc Croc, I agree with you on your God of War theory, and I'm actually going to write that. I'm going to mention you. I'm going to give you that full credit in that predictions article that I will produce at the beginning of the year in 2018.
What's the prediction? I can't see chat.
Doc Croc's prediction is that Kratos' son kills him off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Justin
Yeah.
and I both think that Kratos dies at the end of God of War, but then Doc Croc is like, no, boys. Let me up the ante. Let me use my feminine wiles and my feminine intuition to delve deep into the emotional state of what's going on here. It's not just Kratos gonna die. His own son is gonna kill him. That's what Doc Croc says. Intrigue. It's awesome.
I think the son dies, and I think that sends then God of War 2 goes into a very violent because Kratos
No,
Kratos
'cause they
lost his
talked-
son,
they-
and he was and Kratos would be at fault for his son dying, and so then the God of War 2 will be a mindfuck.
No, I disagree because they've talked about how they needed to pull Kratos back from just like the one-dimensional destroy everything note that he had hit in the first, 20 games that they put out in that franchise. So
Well,
And I think his emotional state the second his son dies and he's the cause of it. Can you imagine how broken a man he would be? That's a whole dimension right there.
yeah,
and I think that's what I'm leaning towards. I think that the son either dies or is severely injured or captured. Something of that nature happens where it really just you got old man Kratos who's older, wiser, more reserved. But I think this could trigger something in him. But Dave is onto something. They did say that they wanted to kind of get him away from being that one-dimensional Kratos
Yeah.
that we all know. So if they wanted to, they could get through this game without killing either of them off. Now, on the flip
God of War
side,
game, no, they can't.
well, I think they could do it only to set up another one where eventually they may kill one of them off. But I think that with it being 2017 and going into 2018 and all the crazy stuff that happens either in video games or on TV, I would not be surprised if they do kill off the son, or again, like you said, the son kills Kratos. Now, I don't know if the son kills Kratos, because then where do you go with that with the story? Is the son now a villain? Is he a hero? Was Kratos a villain?
As Doc Croc says, the son becomes the new God of War. And the
that's
franchise continues on with
right.
baby Kratos.
So then does Kratos become the villain within the game that we play?
I'm not worried so much about that. I'm intrigued now to see if Doc Croc's prediction becomes true. And if it is true, if she's right, I ask for this every year. If my predictions come true, I ask for a box of cookies. Now, I had a great year in 2016 with Red Dead Redemption 2 coming true and Last of Us 2 coming true. I've had a pretty good year this year with Soul Calibur 6 coming true. Switch about to surpass Wii U sales in the first year.
Yep.
And Mega Man Revival. I won't get a box of cookies. I will send Doc Croc. I will send you your choice of flavor of cookies, Doc Croc, if this becomes true. I will do it. I'm a man of my word. You will
Now,
get cookies. I
that
promise
release
you.
date, that we shared, that Dave you shared, what was it, March like 23rd or something like that?
Yeah.
When I went back and looked, I think it said March 22nd, which is a Thursday. Now they could put that as a Friday release and be the 23rd, or it could be the March 20th. But if it comes out in that moment, that would be the perfect time for it. I really feel like that'd be a good time for it. That could be that Horizon Zero Dawn spot. So, you know what? I think all of us are going to jump on this game, and it'd be really cool to play this game and then and reconvene and see how things.
2018 will be the year of the Friday releases.
Yeah, that's what it seems like it's moving back towards, is Friday
Yeah.
releases. I'm good with that.
Fine by me. It gives me all weekend to play it.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Fellas, we got to take her home because we got a lot to talk about after we're done wrapping this thing up. So
Exactly. Let's real quick. I just wanted to mention we also streamed last week. Last week was like the mega week. I love this end of year, kind of early Christmas. But last week also was Jeff Keighley, the Video Game Awards, and that's where we saw Bayonetta 3 and Soul Calibur 6 announced. Apparently, he's mentioned that they tripled their viewership from last year. Tripled it. 11
you
million.
can watch it on everything. You're watching a freaking Tiger Electronic Watch. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like there were 11 million different unique streams of that show. So
Wow.
that's more views than Raw was getting.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
But seriously, like congratulations. That show ran long, but I was fine with that because
Sure.
it just was striking all the right notes.
Yeah.
It finally feels like this year was the culmination of everything that he had hoped for, everything that he wanted a video games awards show to be when he first started out with this endeavor. You know, how long did he do the Spike TV, like, horrible video
Too
game?
long.
Yeah. Like, everything he's ever wanted feels like it was finally realized in this show. And
For sure.
Yeah, it was the best one yet. Next year will be the 5-year anniversary of his striking out on his own, so that's going to be pretty big.
Good. That's awesome for him. I would love to get a beer with him sometime. What kind of a bummer though is that there's all of these awards that don't get stage time.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks that we can't even get like a
Right.
quick video about it. So we found out through him introducing people as here presenting the award for best other game is the winner of best fighting game. Like, did I miss something here? Why is
Yeah.
Ed Boon coming out to no fanfare? Like, if they can find some way of just giving me like a video heads up that this thing won or something,
A scroll on
Maybe
the
a little-
bottom of the screen, like
Yep.
something.
a
That's-
scroll on the
That
bottom
would be good.
Fine.
I agree. That's the one thing that I think that he could improve on for next year.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra production quality, and that's probably coming. You know, like we all were confused when Injustice, when they had Ed Boon come up, and we all thought we heard him say winner of fighting game of the year, but we were all confused. And then I went to go look for it, and then I couldn't find it on the actual website. But when I Googled the Game Awards, like winners, I could find it. So, you know, I don't even know if they talked about like best multiplayer, but PUBG won best multiplayer. But it, you know, like I said, it was a long show, and there was a lot of awards that did not get airtime. So that could be something that they could definitely a little time management work on. Now, granted, we all loved the rant from
Yes.
you know,
Well, we limited to a point, and then it
Yeah.
got like kind of long. But
It got
Um,
long and it definitely got uncomfortable. And
Sure,
God
but that was
bless
okay.
Kaylee.
That was okay.
Poor guy.
And he's still going at it on Twitter. If you don't follow him on Twitter, I think it's like Joseph something, but find him on Twitter.
so he's still
Yeah.
talking.
He's still talking about it. He actually just came out today or yesterday and said, if you and a friend want to play A Way Out, you don't need to buy 2 copies. Just buy 1 copy. You both can play it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then it was hashtag fuck buying 2 copies. So
oh man, that's
guy's
awesome.
still going.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead and bring that sucker home.
All right. So the Game Awards, the Game of the Year was Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Took home the
Yes.
the biggest of trophies.
Uh-huh.
Took a couple. I think it was the big winner of the entire night. Now, of course, we will be discussing this game this weekend for our. Just because the award show happened doesn't mean that the award shows happened yet, because that is this weekend, right here on this very Twitch channel. The first ever, the inaugural Nerd Bacon Awards, hosted by us three,
Yep.
right here.
That's right.
And,
I'm
so we're
really
going to-
excited.
Yes, we have a bunch of the nominees and the categories are available. Sorry, microphone. Are available right now at nerdbacon.com. So go and check out that article to see who is in the running for what award. And we'll announce the winners this Sunday. And then after that's over, you can watch us discussing it, which we'll do tonight, and probably fight about it. But we're going to skip the Q&A tonight because we are going to be here for a while discussing this stuff. So stay tuned for that. Guys, what do we have planned as far as streaming stuff or playing stuff this week before the big award show?
Go ahead, Justin.
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't have anything stream wise lined up. I'm going to be out of town Saturday and Sunday before the Game Awards. So Sunday I'll be getting home about 2 hours before the show. I mean, I'll only be an hour away, but got the in-laws family Christmas thing going on. So I'm going to be a little bit away.
Are you staying up there, coming down here for the award show, man?
I'll be here for I won't be able to come to Des Moines for the award show, so I'll be here. But
Night room.
That's too bad.
yeah, I know. I wanted to be, but just logistics with work and stuff, of course. But who needs a full-time job? So I don't have any streams planned, but I do have some things that I'm working on for the future and starting early 2018. So just stay tuned to that. And then obviously, if you're watching this, like give us a follow. Like I'm not a beyond asking for a follow or subscribe to the channel. follow Jeff Roth, follow him, Level Up Justin, but also let your friends know about what we're doing this Sunday, because the more mouth of word of the mouth is the best way to do this. Like, just get
Legend
the word
of
out.
Zelda, word of the mouth.
Yeah.
2019.
Make sure you tell people, because if you guys don't tell people, then you're doing yourself an injustice, because definitely let them know that, hey, we've got something cool going on here.
And you're also ensuring that a baby kitten dies somewhere.
Oh,
so
boy,
that's
it got
you.
Got deep really
It's always
quick.
Dave who does that.
You're going to ensure that Kratos' son dies. And that's on you.
Damn it.
Only a video game. Monsters die every day, folks.
You're going to ensure that all those Monster Hunter World monsters die because of you.
Big news over at the Jeff Roth Twitch page. My emoticon went live, got approved. So now if you're a subscriber to the channel, you can use the sweet new belt emoticon to show you are a champion.
Nice. I love it.
That's right. I'll be streaming some more Marvel vs. Capcom, getting into that. Maybe going online with it, seeing how I fare online. Trying more of the Fighting Layer EX beta, because I really want to play online with that. Also, I got some stuff planned for Fire Pro Wrestling World as the Jeff Roth Fantasy Wrestling Federation comes to fruition.
God, I need to get into that game so, like, the DJK wrestling invasion can happen.
That's right. We
man.
have something planned here. So go follow and subscribe to Jeff Roth, and that's all happening there. But, of course, I'll also be here on Nerd Bacon bringing you awesome, dumb shit. Dave, about yourself, what are you be playing between now and Sunday?
I don't know if I've got any streams lined up. Depending on how tired I am after it's over, I may do a reactions video after I see Star Wars on Thursday night. Yes, it's Star Wars week. But I don't have any.
Get to see that I may get to see that on Friday. I'm off work at 10:30 on Friday.
Nice.
So
I might be going on Monday, so everybody shut the hell up.
Yeah, I won't do a live one. I think I would just upload it to YouTube and then just mark it as don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie. But we'll see what happens. Depends on how tired I am and how tired I want to be all Friday. Otherwise, I don't have anything lined up prior to Sunday's mega stream. But golly, Christmas is coming soon, and I hope everyone's ready to have a nice and Merry Christmas.
Get the games you want, and then play the hell out of them.
And I was going to say, what I have been playing, I had some time Saturday night, so I checked out those 2 betas. And God help me, I dropped money on yet another game. This is like the 20th game of 2018 that I've bought. This has been the worst year for me spending money on games ever. Like, the previous champion was 2001, and then 2011 came close, but this year, I think I was tallying it up in my head. It's got to be close to 20 games that I've bought, just new releases this year. That's a bad David. Anyway.
What'd you buy?
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes.
On sale for the Game Awards, and I bought it because I got a PC that can run that shit now. So
feels pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. I bought the PC version, and I was so giddy Saturday when I booted it up, and it's like, this is on high settings. I'm not turning anything down, and it's not crashing.
Yes. Join the PC master race. Yes. Come over to the dark side.
Oh, somebody do a stream
folks.
before next Monday. I got a presenting question. Doc Croc.
Oh, I'll be
Doc
streaming.
Croc, what's your present presenting?
Why don't you just, Doc Croc? Why don't you just ask it now, really quick?
Ask it
and we'll just
now.
get it out of the way.
There we go.
Yeah, we got it. We'll answer that, and we'll take her home.
So I was gonna say, I talked to you. I kind of mentioned it, but I was thinking about what content I'm gonna do going forward, and I was like, maybe I'll do something like this. This game really sucks. So I mentioned I got Mighty Number 9 for free. So Mighty Number 9 got on my Xbox. And I was like, I'm in this Mega Man mode, right? So I was like, I really want to play.
So don't play that game then.
So I started playing it, and I'm like, all right, I can see why people don't like it, but it's really not as bad as people had said. I just had to, I get it, but I'm still playing through that a little bit. It's not that difficult, but also not like Mega Man, so I don't know. That's just something I'm playing. But here's Doc Croc's question.
Okay.
I went with your suggestion from last time and bought the guitar, but how do I present it?
Which guitar?
Do I just hand it over or hide it?
Well, you hide it.
Yeah,
Well-
I would say you hide it. You hide it
Wrap it
somewhere, and then you're like,
very
"Hey,
carefully.
would you go up and get this for me?" And then they go up there, and there's a new guitar. There's it's
You put it in,
wrapped.
like an oversized box, and then like just think, oh, it's probably like something that's really huge, and then they just tear into paper, and all of a sudden there's a guitar in there.
Yeah. I mean, if you could find a big enough box for it, awesome. I'm sure it's in some sort of box now, currently, unless you took it out. But Senor Conqueso says scavenger hunt.
There you go. There you
Actually,
go.
that's not a bad idea. Scavenger hunt
yeah,
for like
sure.
mundane items, and then the last item is the guitar. That's
Yeah,
not a
bury
bad
you
it
could
idea.
do,
bury
like-
it in snow, and then
Instead of doing like a stocking, maybe do like the items you would put in a small
put the
stocking.
guitar in the stocking,
Like,
upside down.
yeah. Doc Croc says, "I'm gonna wrap it."
She's gonna wrap it. I like it.
All
All right. Speaking of wrapping, we're gonna wrap this show.
Ooh, let's do a
Senor,
segue.
I'm sorry that you're
We're
joining
on
us.
segues tonight.
I'm sorry that you joined us so late, but yes, we are going to wrap it up tonight so we can talk about Video Game Awards later on. Yeah, join us this Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, for the first ever Nerd Bacon Video Game Awards Spectacular. You are not going to want to miss it. For everybody here at the Level Up Lariat podcast, I'm Dave.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Justin.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on Sunday night. Good night, everyone. Woo!
Peace.